Yo, how's it going, you beautiful, beautiful people? Welcome back to the first mod on the S5. It finally arrived. I just bought a new intake. I can't wait to install this thing. Now, a lot of people, it looks exactly like the CTS Turbo one, but fun fact, it's actually off Aliexpress. It was a decent bit cheaper than the one from CTS Turbo, but it's an exact replica, so let's see how this install goes, guys. First, we got to take off this radiator cover, so it's already like low-key not really in there because of the shitty freaking plastic bolts that Audi decided to make for the B8.5. I actually hate it with a passion, but we'll get this off. Alright, so this one is being so unbelievably dramatic to try and get out, so now I've got it sort of out of the way so we can take these two off. Alrighty, basically what we've done here as well is I've just taken, that's just a, I think it's a 10 mil for the hose clamp towards the supercharger. I've taken off this clamp here. I've taken one of these bolts out here. These are a T25. You just got to get all these now. All right, we just took off all the bolts, chat. Holy shit. This is going to be like a brand new car once we get this intake in. Holy crap. Alright, and to get this piece out, it is a little bit tricky. This vacuum line is usually on the back of this one here. Sorry, the camera's not really focusing, but that one there, that's where it connects onto. You just like slab it off. Just really, really gently. I just did it with my fingers. Alright, now that we've gotten that part out of the intake out, now basically what we've got to do is shimmy this one out, and we've got to pull out the secondary air line. You just use like your front and your thumb, just to like squeeze them together and just pull it down like that. Alrighty, so now once you've freed that vacuum line, this should just about almost come up. There we go. Oh my god. And then pretty much what you do is you get your new bracket and just reuse the bolt and tighten this up now. And then this piece goes on here. Make sure you lube it up and stuff first. Alright, so that's nice and on now. Alright, I know I did actually kind of skip a step, but basically what I did, you saw what I did before. I tightened this one. The actual clamp that came is a little bit different from the one that comes from CTS Turbo. Everything else is pretty standard, but pretty much that one goes through there. I just held it up and then tightened that hose clamp there, and that is just sitting on nicely now. Keep in mind, just because of the way that the actual thing slanted here, it is going to be a little bit slanted when it's actually sitting in the engine bay. Alright, so now that everything's installed there, we basically just have to put the intake heat shield together. I am using a bit of a weird technique to actually get them screwed in, because they're just like those tiny little bolts that hold this in. I'm using like the socket that fits onto these little things on the bottom, so I'm putting that over that, but then having like the right size Allen key and then just like twisting them both in the opposite directions, and it's actually tightening. So we'll cut back to basically when this is assembled. And then you are going to actually reuse the rubber mounts from your factory airbox, so take both of those off now. And these will just go onto here, like so. So just like that, and the same with the other side. I think this is the hardest part about the whole install so far, but these little nuts, man, oh my days. So I've been using, like I said, the, what millimeter is this? If it ever wants to focus. I think it's a 7 mil. Onto the back of that, onto the nut on there, and then using this tiny little Allen key to tighten it. It's been so hard, but we got those all on now. Alright, I know it looks like I've skipped ahead a bit basically here, but ever since I put that on, all that basically happened is I put on the rubber like that, just like that. It's pretty self-explanatory, just like that, and that one there, and that one there. You will also have to cut them to size because they don't come pre-cut, and then pretty much they're all good to go. And then those little black things, they just sit in there. They just sit in by themselves. You don't have to worry about any nuts or anything like that. We're pretty much ready to chuck this into the car now. Alright, now that you've got this in, I completely forgot to mention, you have to put this air duct back in. Basically, you do need one of those little clips that you got. Put it on the edge of the actual intake here. Hold on, I'll put this through first. Alright, so she's all in now. I basically put another clip on this side, so it's just to be a bit more secure as well. But you should have some pretty decent alignment like that, something like that, okay? Alright, so once now you're pretty much ready to chuck the intake in. Chuck in the little thingy that you got with it and the adapter, so you can chug that back into your original vacuum hose. take off the filter just while you're putting this in, then chuck the filter on afterwards, okay? All right, now all I've done here is put one of these suction silicone like heads over this and put a hose clamp and tightened it. I do want to stress, make sure it is like actually close to the actual like intake, like I don't know if it's like, it's a weird material, but just make sure that it's close to it so it actually gets like a nice like grip onto it. Alright, so now once you've done that, done up your hose clamp on the actual throttle body, sorry, the throttle body here, plug in your vacuum line back there, and now we just have to chuck on the cone now. And now what you guys need to do is chuck this bad boy that just sits in there like that. Make sure you loosen off that one first. Then basically, chat, you put this little rubber oh, why is it so zoomed in? So you put this other piece of silicone, then you chuck this hose clamp over top of this one now. And then pretty much you'll chuck on your cone head filter and everything. And then tighten everything up, and chat, you are pretty much good to go. Intake is installed. And as you can see, it looks exactly like the CTS Turbo one, like I was saying. Yo, how's it going, guys? Thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you guys do have any questions, make sure to comment down in the comments below. If you have anything, I will be pretty proactive in replying to comments. If you have any problems, queries, anything like that, I also will leave a link in the description below to the website where I bought the intake as well. I'm not sponsored or anything. But yeah, the intake's awesome. Quality is amazing. I haven't had a single problem with it. It's super loud. I really, really love it. It's completely changed the car. It's made it a little bit faster too. A lot more responsive as well. But make sure to like the video and consider subscribing if you've really enjoyed it. Peace. Thank you guys for tuning out.